Thank you very much for the remarks made by the director for UNECA, trying to encourage us to support the initiative and for Malawi also to become part of this particular process. Let me begin by saying that signing the agreement is a commitment by government of Malawi and also other countries, and it is also a reflection that as a country would also want to move together as a continent. And learning from other countries like in Europe, having a continental free trade area is very important for the private sector in Malawi. So we support the initiative, and we are there also to work with the options that are available to ensure that this becomes fruitful. Let me also indicate that as per your first statement, indeed the free trade area is very, very fundamental for private sector because it provides also for expanded markets. Where you had limited markets, it gives opportunity for you to also be able to go into the other markets as well. And apart from that, it also provides opportunities to learn, because one of the major drivers for private sector development is also to become innovative by also learning from what those that are doing well in other countries, especially those countries that have done very well in specific countries. We have seen the growth of specific industries like pharmaceuticals in some other countries, basically because of the effort by governments, but at the same time learning how also to manufacture and be able to export and then find the market within the region. So these are some of the issues that are very key for private sector. So the expectation by private sector is that the signing and the ratification which will follow is also going to help the private sector in Malawi. However, it will also be important to mention here that for private sector to participate fully and benefit from this arrangement, it's very important also to look at our own particular preparedness, which is very key. We know in any economic or any regional transactions, we believe there are winners and there are losers as well. But how do we take into account those that would be able to be affected by such kind of transactions? We have been assured by the statement that there will be some kind of a way how countries are going also to participate to ensure that they still benefit. Now, one of the major issues which you find especially in Africa is issues of connectivity. There are issues of infrastructure services. Malawi is also one of them. It also has got a lot of problems in terms of connectivity, especially when you look at the cost of doing business because of such kind of services as well. You find that in terms of interconnectivity, we are really not doing very well. So these are some of the fundamental areas that as a country, we also need to prepare ourselves. So as a country, how do we prepare ourselves in order to benefit from that kind of arrangement? So there are some kind of home kind solutions or home approaches, home strategies that we should be able to work together with government so that we can ultimately benefit from the arrangement that is being initiated by the African Union, or UNECA rather. Again, we know like in Malawi, there have been certain particular sectors which they have done very well. For example, give an example like tobacco. Tobacco is a sector is a subsector within agriculture that has done well, but now I think we have overdone it. We have spent a lot of time, I think, in tobacco. We have not done much in terms of diversification as well as also processing. But what do we do? As a country, we try to create infrastructure that can support such kind of arrangement. And that's why maybe tobacco did very well during the first years. And if the thinking is the same to think about other sectors as well, in order to benefit from this arrangement, it would be important that the government should work with private sector and be able to listen what does the private sector say. If there are incentives, make sure that you provide for them so that you'll be able to create growth. You find that in such kind of arrangements, it's also very important to take into account that the existing industries are very key in the process. Now, existing industries, because they're already established, they can be able to survive certain particular challenges. If they do well, then they can also create income and that income can also create other industries as well. So it's very important to take into account that how do you look at industries which are already existing or operating when you're looking at this particular situation. Because those, they know the market, they know how to produce, they know the challenges that they face. Why don't we also focus in our internal strategies to support them so they create more services, which will also create other companies in Malawi? Now, there are issues of competitive advantage. There are issues of competitive advantage. I know we talk about a competitive advantage being a situation which gives you an advantage for you to compete with other countries as well. But as an economy, we can also create economic or competitive advantage. We can create them and then create them for purposes of supporting such interests in order to benefit. But otherwise, it is very important to consider such kind of factors, especially if you are to support businesses. There are a number of human factors, human development. There are issues to do with financial capacity, access to affordable and also long-term capital. There are those kind of issues which there have been issues for Malawi. Now, we believe that also opening up will also create opportunities for the private sector to access such kind of services from other countries as well. But it would be more important to also build synergies and also to build such kind of capacity for a country to ensure that they'll be able to support with such kind of services to the businesses. So this is a very key for Malawi, and as private sector, we support it and we work together with government, and we believe also government will take initiative to listen from us. And for UNEGA, we want also to thank you very much for coming up with this initiative, and we are here also to benefit from any kind of initiatives that can provide solutions for our private sector in Malawi. Otherwise, for now, thank you very much, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.